How many times have you had to sit in your car and wait for someone you have called to come find you and change your tire? What about that long, dreadful wait of a tow truck and the bill that you received just for them to change the tire? It is out of this world. Today, I am here to tell you what you will need and how to change the tire safely so that you don't have to waste the time and anyone call for help. And best of all, you will not have to pay that tow truck driver. I will list every item needed for you to keep in your vehicle, and I will help you in succeeding and keeping the knowledge handy so that you can do it yourself versus that dreadful call for help. First thing we're going to talk about is the tools and equipment you need to change the tire. The first thing you're going to need is a tire, a spare tire. The spare tire is usually located in your trunk, normally under the floor covering. If you own a truck, it's going to be located under the back of the truck. Usually you have to lower the tire by cranking it down with the crank. To use the crank, there's normally a hole beside the license plate to stick the crank pole into. The next thing you're going to need is a tire iron. The tire iron is usually located in the cab of the truck or the car. Your tire iron is usually in a bag, and if it's a car, it's usually in the trunk. If it's a truck, it's usually located behind the seat or under the truck seat. The next thing you're going to need is a jack. The jack is located in the same area you found your tire iron in. In cars, it's under your spare tire in the trunk, or if it's a truck, it's either in behind the seat, in the bed of the truck, or sometimes it's under the hood. Removing the tire off the vehicle. First thing you need to do, taking it off the vehicle, is you need to break the lug nuts loose, because you cannot break the lug nuts loose if you jack the truck up first. The wheel will spin and you can't break them loose. So you have to break them loose with the tire on the ground. After you break them loose, without taking them completely off, you jack the truck up by placing the jack under the vehicle and begin to jack you jack it up until the tire is clear from the ground. Next, you need to use your tire iron to remove the lug nuts the rest of the way. After you remove them the whole way, you should be able to pull the tire off from the vehicle. You get the spare and you place it on your on the truck. Once you get the spare placed on the truck, you apply your lug nuts back onto the bolts. Tighten them as tight as you can get it with your fingers. You will not be able to tighten them with the tire iron due to the fact that the tires are going to be spinning freely. What you do is you let the jack down, not all the way, just let it down enough where the tire touches the ground so that when you put the lug wrench on the nuts, the tire does not spin when you're tightening it up. You get them as tight as you can, then you let the jack all the way down and make sure that the lug nuts are tight. After you do all that, you put everything back in its spot where it goes and put everything back together. But also remember, if you have a truck or a car that has a small donut tire, you cannot drive them very far, and you do need to get it replaced as soon as possible. They're not made for long distances or to stay on your car for a long time. So the conclusion is we have reviewed where to locate your tools to change your tire. We have went over how correctly remove the tire, how to replace it with the spare. Now you are aware of how to properly change your tire and do not have to make that bothersome phone call. Now just place your tools back where you got them from, place the tire you removed in the spare holder, and have it repaired. Never drive without a spare tire or the tools to replace the spare tire. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. I'm done.